Hey critics, and welcome back to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel where you get commentary reviews and tabloid news. I'm your host, Patricia Hartley. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Okay, critics, it's time for our critical review of today with Jenna and Sheinelle. Now, we're reviewing the episode they did today, January 28th, and it was a pretty good lineup, actually. I wouldn't say their outfits was the best lineup. Jenna Jenna was looking very like, I work for corporate America, but I haven't quite discovered, some additional pieces that I can add to it to add a little vavoom. And Sheinelle was more like, I have a weekday brunch meetup with the girls right after this, and I don't want to change my clothes. I'm gonna throw on my trench coat, because it's cold outside, with only this dress and a scarf underneath, because I'm getting curbside assistance anyway. Like that's kind of how I would describe it, right? Y'all, I'm in a real, I don't know what's going on with me today, but I'm in a real casual mood and stuff. So ain't no telling what's gonna come out of my mouth. I do try to keep this like very non-cuss word. I wouldn't say family friendly, but I try not to curse. So that's my goal, is to, because this is kind of a family friendly show in general. So that's why I want to keep it also, family friendly and stuff. Okay. So this is what Jenna actually wore. So she wore like this navy jacket and slacks. I was a fan of the top. I actually kind of liked the top. I just felt like it needed like a little, like another accessory. I just didn't like the pants. And then, like it was this navy color for both of her pieces, like the pant and the top, but it wasn't the same color. So it was like they didn't match. So that's why I couldn't say it was like a pantsuit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if it was a bad, you know what I'm saying? One of them bad navy, you know what I'm saying? Old bad navy suits, But no, not quite at all. But Sheinelle's dress was like a coffee brown. It complemented her skin, but I wouldn't say that her dress stood out, Sheinelle's, and I wouldn't say that Jenna's outfit stood out, either, like on the show. However, the ladies looked good and rested for Wednesday. Happy hump day. Happy hump day. Hump that day. I say hump that day. I don't know where I get that from, y'all. Just random. Let me see. The roundtable hot topic of the show today was around tickets for that like Harry Styles concert that's kind of coming out. And I think Jenna is a fan. He is apparently going out on tour soon. And of course, Sheinelle was reminiscing about when she had tickets. When Beyonce, had tickets for sale for Cowboy Carter. And then people was like waiting in the queue in order to like get tickets. And it was a whole lot of stuff around that too. Because some people who, didn't get tickets immediately was able to get tickets later on. And those tickets were not as expensive. So, I mean, it was some stuff around it, but people who got the tickets on time got it on time. I will admit to you this. I have had enough VIP backstage experiences to know that that's really where the magic happens. Like when I'm talking about, like, if you really want to get like up close and personal, behind the scenes, know what the things are, meet the artists. Like that's really what it's about. Like it's really about, I feel like, an experience, like that. So if you're gonna go all out, why don't you? Right? Go all out. Hopefully they're able to get the tickets that they need. I don't know who wanted to go. I think Jenna is the one who actually wanted to go. They also reference, y'all, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which is, a little bit of nostalgia for me, because as a kid, I was really, the Reading Rainbow, the Sesame Street, all of the things. And apparently there's a new Super Bowl ad, I think, that includes the Be My Neighbor phrase from Mr. Rogers, in which Lady Gaga is singing, but she put her own spin on the song. They actually played it on the show. I can't sing it for you, but it's not quite the, like he says, like, won't you be my neighbor? But she says it a little bit different. I think she has a little bit more strength behind her voice. She got a little bit more strength behind her voice. Yeah, but I liked the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood growing up. And they talked about some of the top like theme songs from shows, including like, of course, Golden Girls, Thank You for Being a Friend. Now, neither of the ladies knew the full theme song, which I was kind of surprised. I was like, what? I love that show. Me and my grandma actually used to watch that I used to watch that with my grandma, yep, growing up. And then it was another show called what used to come on like kind of late at night. I think it was like Mama's Family. And then at one point in time, the reruns of like the Jeffersons that was kind of on like the cable, network and all of the things. And so, yeah. Anyway, let me just get back to it. The ladies did not know the full theme song for the Golden Girls, but still, they talked about the Jeffersons. They talked about the theme song for Saved by the Bell. It's all right, cause I'm saved by the It's all right. They talked about that one. And of course, a classic, forever classic, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Side note, y'all, I actually hosted a pageant one time. It was a pageant for one of the Divine Nine organizations. And the pageant had a young lady who was a participant or contestant, excuse me, and she ended up winning actually the entire pageant, but she did a rap song and it was to the beat of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but she basically did it for the organization. And so she ended up winning. So yeah. Anyway, like let me just moving back to like the theme songs. These are, you know what? I got some theme songs that I personally would put on the list, and that includes, y'all, I'm talking about like some that really just be bringing back memories. The Sesame Street theme song, sunny day, dun dun dun, clouds away, right? On our way to where the air is sweet. I used to think that said clean. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Yeah, that was always a classic. Always a classic. In a different world, especially once Aretha took over, it's like I know my parents love me. Like, come on now. Like, that powerful voice. Oh, I'm just saying. And then Proud Family. Proud Family. I don't know if a lot of people, I love the Proud Family theme song, but of course, I love that Destiny's Child, the Solange, I'll push your buttons. That's the one I probably don't know the lyrics to but I love the Proud Family, Proud Family. That's it. That's all I got. And another theme song I really liked that they did not mention, which I don't know, maybe it's because, again, I was growing up. I watched a lot of Nickelodeon growing up. I watched a lot of Nickelodeon when I could, either when I went to my uncle's house to visit because he had cable. And we lived so far, y'all, telling too much of my business, but we lived so far in the country. The only time I got to watch, like, cable is when we actually had, like, satellite. Because satellite we can get in the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you don't live in the city. But when you live in the country, it's like, you limited, honey. Either that or you got to pay for what you want. And when I say pay, they make you pay, okay? Back to the show, though. So special guests today included, of course, tennis champion Serena Williams, entrepreneur Paris Hilton, and actress Camila Morrone. I don't know why I couldn't say her last name. It's not even a hard name to say, y'all. Please check the show notes for more information regarding this review and the link to the show referenced in today's episode. So let's start off with the tennis pro herself, Grand Slam champion Serena Williams. She stopped by the show and she talked about the GLP-1s with roll medication, the shots or the injections. I don't like to say injections. That sounds real like I'm injecting myself, The medication is what we're going to refer to it as. But she basically talks about like her levels and numbers being better now, including her cholesterol being lower and having a longer lifespan as a result. Now, I must admit to you that I have not, been put in a position as of yet, through the grace of God, where I've had to cholesterol, like all of the things, like for the most part, I've been pretty good. But you know what, baby, I like to eat and I'm eating a lot more lately than I have been. And so I got to get my life together. That's why I say, y'all, I got to get my business fixed in 2026. But I will admit to you that doing this like every day, like as like my version of like the Vlogmas, except I'm going to do it during like now until the end of Black History Month. There is never an end to Black History Month. Every day is Black History. Do you hear what I'm saying? I don't know why I had to go into that voice, y'all. I think, you know what? I need one of them little machines. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'll just be my own machine where I'll be my own, like, soundbite and everything. I'm not even gonna worry about the machine and the technology no more. I'm just gonna do it for myself. You gonna do it for yourself? I'm gonna do it for myself. I'm gonna do it for myself. But going back to Serena Williams, yes, she talked about the GLP-1s with raw medication, which is the equivalent to Ozempic, right? Ain't that what it is? I guess basically overall, Serena over the years has basically said that, especially after having her two children, she said that it's been a hard road for her to like lose weight. She's done a lot of the things that she's done in the past, and unfortunately, she said it wasn't working. It wasn't until she got the GLP-1 with roll medication that really just allowed her to be able to get to the goal that she wants to get to. So good for her. She also has a new show that I believe she executive produced. It's called Female Club. It's on Amazon. Oh, sorry. It's a new female club on Amazon. It's called the CEO Club. It is a new show, yes, that she executive produced, and it's going to be premiering on February the 23rd, 2026. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I went straight over to the source thinking that it was up, but I realize now it's February the 23rd. So I don't know if y'all talked about that on the show, but just know it's February the 23rd. Now, the show does follow women who are successful and doing their own businesses and stories and how life does not stop regardless of what happens, okay? She also gushed about her sister's brand new marriage and wedding photos. She talked about how beautiful the wedding was and the looks were on point. I think she said that she had over 20 dresses. I don't know if that meant 20 looks or I don't think she changed into 20 dresses. Yeah, maybe she had a lot of options. Don't quote me on that. But she just basically said that Venus basically had a lot of options. So shout out to Venus and congratulations, Venus, on your recent marriage. The two of them also took a photo together and they both looked great. Sheinelle, though, y'all, she couldn't even focus, child. She was eyeing the necklace that Serena actually wore, which it looked like it was like this, it's like this lucky sort of a charm that she had. It was green. And then I think the other part of the necklace was actually pink. And so she had that on and she was like, you can leave that in the dressing room. Leave it in my dressing room, please. Everybody leave the dressing room, please. I don't even know why I went to that. Shout out to the Players Club. Anyway, Paris Hilton, she also stopped by. She talked about motherhood, advocacy, and about her brand new documentary called Infinite Icon, a visual memoir. It's set to premiere on January the 30th, so just in like a few days in theaters, actually. Because I don't know why I was like, is it like on a streaming platform? But no, it's actually going to be in theaters. Okay, Paris, come on with your movie, girl. It chronicles her life, but also showcases how music saved her life following her abuse in troubled teen treatments and by the media in the early 2000s. Now, Paris was one of the original sort of like reality show veterans whom she and Nicole Richie set the tone for kind of like what reality sort of looked like for like a young duo on the road to discovery. It was a good show to just watch two rich girls be crazy, if I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? But it worked. It was good for TV. But now Paris is helping to change laws to protect children from predators and inappropriate AI information that targets kids. So shout out to Paris for that. They even asked Paris if she would run for office and all the things, but she didn't say no. She definitely did not say no, but she's getting a lot of laws and it looks like things done. And she said that she's gotten compliments from people who've said, girl, you've gotten more done than some of the folks that's been politicians for a long time. But I think that's a different kind of message because maybe everybody ain't there for the right reason. But if they were, we would have a lot of things that will be changed. But it ain't. But it ain't. But if you're going to be in there, make it better, y'all, not worse. We don't want to go down. We want to go up. We want to go up. All right, so actress Camila Morrone, she's an Emmy-nominated actress who stopped by to promote her new role on the show, The Night Manager. She brought snacks for the ladies. Well, I don't know why they be eating so early in the morning, but she brought snacks for the ladies, and it was in English Walkers, I think is what they were called. According to Sheinelle, they actually taste like butter. Well, if you're interested in the show, The Night Manager, the finale of The Night Manager is this Sunday. They also got a segment there with the top beauty drops. The top beauty drops was done by Julie Wilson. She was talking about trends that will be seen in 2026 when it comes to makeup, baby. Cream blushes are in, as well as face masks. Y'all, Jenna, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what's wrong with Jenna, but she tasted the face mask. Girl, you don't taste that. I think it was called honey something, but it was a face mask that they were promoting, and she basically tasted it. Lord, I don't know why. I don't know why. At least she had a better reaction to that than she did those soup drops that they that they had them tasted, because she spit that out immediately. She was like, "This was a bad idea." Immediately, she spit it out. What I liked actually was it was like a hair perfume that they actually had. That was something I really, really liked. And when they asked, okay, so what is the difference between like the hair perfume and like regular perfume that you would put on? And apparently it's because the hair perfume it's alcohol free. So I guess that's what really makes it a lot different. So yeah. All right. So with that being said, that's it for my review for today. If you want access to any of the digital resources that I talked about or named today, be sure to check out Libby, which is a free digital platform made possible through our local library. Here at the Critic Chronicles, our goal is to provide quality but juicy content from websites, digital magazines, and tabloids, most of which are sourced from our public libraries. Research from the National Library of Medicine show that there are an estimated 17,000 public libraries nationwide, totaling 4 million visits each day. Public libraries are civic organizations that are committed to providing invaluable resources beyond books that are free and open to the public. Get your library card to access thousands of resources today.